soy Hans.
Yo soy Arquímedes.
Yo soy Raúl Torres.
Eu sou Eminota.
Yo soy Alejandro.
Eu sou Charles Darwin.
Yo soy Luis Pasteur.
Eu sou Maria Virginia.
Yo soy Leonardo da Vinci.
Eu sou Sócrates.
Yo soy Pitágoras.
Yo soy Ford, Henry Ford.
Eu sou Hipatia.
Yo soy Nikola Tesla.
Eu sou Josephine Bell.
Yo soy Steve Jobs.
Yo soy Stephen Hawking.
Yo soy Asimov.
Eu sou Ana.
Hey everybody, welcome to Campus Party. My name's Laura Beeston and I'm delighted to be your co-host today. I'm super excited to talk to Valerie Saint-Jean. She's the CEO of 4 Elements and she's in the gaming space working to break the barriers down between video gaming and entertainment. So welcome Valerie.
Hi,
how are you?
Pretty good, yourself?
Good, thank you for joining us. I'm really excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, me too.
Great. My first question for you is really if you could tell me a bit about your career path and how you found yourself in the gaming world and in the entertainment ecosystem.
Well, actually, it's been, sometimes connecting the dots takes a time to figure out why you're doing all of this path. I actually started in public relations, so I was working into the media industry all my life. And then after that, I went into video production. So it really showed me like various fields about media. And then I met my 2 associates, which is Simon and Alex. And we started working on this project, which would combine all that I know and all that they know about like storytelling, entertainment, and people, because public relation is all about people, right? So, and then it connected the dot, which is doing a business that connects people together using media.
Wonderful. So what kind of work does 4 Elements do for people who aren't aware of maybe your product output?
Well, what we do at 4 Elements is we bring a video game and we bring people to connect not only with the environment, but together using gaming. So we really really using a game engine to connect people together with the environment and with the story we're telling them.
Awesome. So maybe we could start there a little bit. What was it about gaming that really interested you as a media person? What was it, the interactivity? Was it that you could create a story world? Like what was it that really continues to motivate you to be in this space and makes this space kind of special from the rest of the media?
Well, I think gaming brings people to be active and not passive. And that's really what I enjoy about this gaming and using the game engine that, like, we've created this game engine at 4 Elements that will allow all of those interactivity. And for me, it's like you are the hero of your own adventure. And every time you start the experience, well, you never know what the outcome will be because you won't do the same decision or the same action every time you play or every time you live the experience. And that for me was very interesting. So we can both live the same experience, but not live really the same experience because we won't do the same choices.
Yeah, right on. I'm curious, it seems like you're really committed to your audience and giving them an experience. What was the last 2 years like for you in terms of everyone being at home? Was there like a huge adoption rate? Did you see a lot more people looking for games and looking for these experiences? How did COVID sort of affect your business?
Well, actually, you bring the gaming into the real environment. And for us, it was all about connecting people. So, really, for us, COVID was like, okay, we can't connect them because we can't have them in the same space, right? So, it was really for us to maybe adapt the experience according to the new reality. And we will continue to adapt the experiences. So, we've added all of that face recognition, movement recognition in our experience, so to allow, to have a touchless experience so that we don't have devices that connects us. So that was something we really went fast track. And the other thing too is we did gaming into the national parks of the CEPAC, where families could go live the experience into a gaming experience into the national parks to know more about the fauna and the flora. So that was really something new for us, because instead of having a lot of people, it was like really an individual quest that people will have to live throughout the parks. So people could go through the parks and live this experience because it was like a long path.
I love that. Also, what a good way to mix, multimedia with the natural environment. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So what's your vision, you and your colleagues at Four Elements, like where do you see gaming and user experience sort of defining and pushing forward sort of entertainment as we know it? Like what's your vision of the near future?
Well, how I see the near future is really that people really want to have this impact on what they live, right? We see it with social media. People want to have their word to say, want to like, want to share. So that is really, I think, where entertainment is going. People don't want to sit and just look at something. They want to be part of something that's bigger than them, right? And so I think that's where entertainment is going. So people will have a say in what they're seeing, what they're living, and the way the experience and the outcome of the experience will be.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is going to disrupt business as usual, or is it something where the pandemic kind of just did that and now everyone's sort of exploring it? I'm curious how disruptive you think the gaming and sort of interactive experiences will continue to be.
Well, I think it is going to continue to evolve, and I think it's going to continue to change. Like any industry, it's changing, and we have to adapt because the new generation, it's more about them than about us. And so we need to see a way where we hear that and we adapt the experience according to what the new generation is looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the new generation, we have a lot of folks who are listening at Campus Party and watching who, are in school and about to enter the job market. And I'm curious what advice you might have for them about getting into this space and about working in this space. Like, how do you get in, and any advice you have about joining this excellent ecosystem?
Well, I think the advice would be curious. Continue to be curious. The technology is evolving at really fast, more than we can adapt. So if you are curious, well, then you're always looking for the new experience, the new way to think, and and being curious and doing new things different way. Sometimes it's not to invent something new, but sometimes it's just to rethink the business model, or rethink the way you're positioning yourself, or rethinking how you're going to live the experience. So I think it's really about this, is being curious and about pushing the boundaries of what is feasible or not.
Right on. And just on new experiences, I'm curious if you're excited about anything in particular. Is it the metaverse? Is it like, what's sort of something that you're watching very closely right now in this space that excites you, or that you have a feeling might push the envelope a little bit further?
Well, it's all about the location-based entertainment, LBE. I think this is really changing, and we're seeing it in like shopping malls. We're seeing it like it's coming into different markets, right? It's not, and even in education, it's going there, and even in ways to talk about different subjects. You know, I think this is where like it's going. It's just changing every type of industry.
Yeah. Okay, that totally makes sense. You said location-based entertainment. I'm curious. This is kind of a wild question or random, but what makes Montreal a really good location for the tech industry and for the tech ecosystem? I'm curious why, folks who are outside of the city might look at Montreal as a destination. To perhaps explore as they're getting more skills, or if they want to come and work. Like, is there something special about Montreal as a startup ecosystem or as a tech ecosystem that you think really sets us apart?
Well, there's a lot of incubators that starts, right? So that is, I think, one of the reason. The other thing is there's a lot of creatives here, and creation and technology are, for me, like really connected, because that's how you create, and using technology can push the creation farther down. So I think it's just because it just started here, and we have big companies that are here, and that brought this creative and technology side here in Montreal. And I think that's why it's an ecosystem that is strong.
Mm-hmm. Are there any creatives in Montreal that are inspiring you recently, or any companies that you're really excited about or work with that sort of embody the spirit that you're talking about, this creative energy?
Well, I think it's not one company, Laura. I think it's just all of those creatives out there. You know, we have like Hub Montreal that is there. We have a lot of, we have C2 Montréal. You know, we have a lot of those big events, which, brings creative and tech people together to just exchange about exchange about the creation, exchange about the technology. And I think, when I was talking about how being curious brings you further down, and I think this is how you can bring your creativeness and your curiosity, is just by meeting other creatives and other people that are innovative, and events like that really connects you with those people and allows you to exchange. And I think it's not only about what you know, but who you know that knows you, right? And
Totally.
when you go to events like that, well, you get to meet new people, and these new people will make you meet new people, and that's will bring your creativity and your curiosity further.
And it might even, advance your career in a direction you didn't expect. Like it makes me think of what you were saying earlier about how, you're from the world of PR and you met up with your colleagues from different spheres. And it was sort of at those intersections that you created this company.
Yeah, there you go. And, sometimes we'd never know where that meeting somebody will bring us. And I think that's what's interesting about meeting new people and, pushing our curiosity.
Right. And you seem to me to have a little bit of a atypical path into tech.
Yeah.
You took like a side door in, and I guess for maybe some of the people who are watching right now who don't necessarily have a background in I don't know, IT, do you have any advice for them, the people who might not think they fit the profile, like about where they can find space for themselves in this ecosystem?
Well, Laura, I'm 44 now. So think about it. 20 years ago, even more, 24 years ago, we weren't talking about technology to young girls, right? We were talking about other, public relation was fine, because that was something, you were connecting with people, and all of those careers weren't about tech for girls, right? And I think right now it's changing and it's evolving. And if if we bring those technology and those creative technology to younger generation of girls, well, that's going to change things. And I think that's why I was brought into technology by after a long time older, but I think it's just because it wasn't brought to me earlier, because it wasn't like that before, right?
Right. It's like maybe things are becoming socialized in a different way at this point. Tech maybe is opening its doors a little bit more to include more people. Yeah.
Yeah, to include more people. And I can see it now in schools. We're talking about technology, and we're giving courses about how to do programming to the younger generation, because we know technology is the future. And it was like that. It's been like that for the past years, and it's going to be more like that the years to come. So you need to be interested in technology, and technology doesn't have to be it can be used in various fields. You can bring it to, like, we brought it to entertainment. We're bringing it in various fields. So you need to be interested about technology in any fields you're gonna work in.
And you talked about, how much the landscape has changed in the last 20 years. Let's look in the long view. What do you think the next 20 years has in store? Is it impossible to know, or do you have an idea about how far it's gonna evolve into the future?
I don't know, Laura, and I think we don't know. And I guess my answer would have been different before COVID. But I think COVID just told us that we don't know. We don't know where things are going to be and where we are going to be in a year or two or even 10 years. But I think that it will continue to evolve. And I think that with the COVID, we realized that technology wasn't an end result, but a way to connect. And I think that's where technology will be going, is that we're not going to do technology for technology, but technology to include people.
Right. I guess at the end of the day, it's a very human output. The human desire to connect and exchange is always going to be kind of at the root of why we participate and engage.
Yeah, and even for me, and even probably for you, Laura, we were like, okay, can we have an event where we can see people? We need people, and people nurture us. And when I said that we need to meet new people, and people nurture us and bring us to the next level in terms of creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. So this got me thinking actually just a little bit about, we can't predict the future. We don't really know. 20 years is a long runway. That's true. So it's hard to say, but are there any, skills, hard or soft skills, that you think help people through a bit of this unknown time, to stay flexible and adaptable? Is there anything that you learned as an entrepreneur and businesswoman about sort of rolling with the punches, and what kind of mindset you need to sort of stay in the game and keep forging ahead, even though the future is unpredictable?
Like I said, I think it's curiosity and, talking about your issues, right? I have mentors, and they're always there to, push my reflection, make me think further down, and show me that, maybe the way I'm thinking is not the way to think. And maybe it is, but to question myself about all of those, maybe ways I'm thinking is what will bring me further down in terms of the business, in terms of my person, and in terms of the technology or the business.
I love that. Do you have any last words or any message for the people out there who are kind of looking to you as a mentor at this moment about wanting to get into the business, or any final thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think, and I've learned this week, because, we always have times, sometimes we're like, oh, wow, why am I doing all of this, right? And this week, we've just signed our biggest contract ever. And, sometimes it's never to stop, it's not to think that, okay, it's not working. Well, don't stop. If you believe in your project, and if you believe in your solution, just continue pushing it. But listen, maybe maybe there's just a little thing or a little twist you need to do to bring it further down. And like I said, it's talk about, push your curiosity and talk to people, and then question yourself. And then maybe you'll have to adapt and change certain things. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your technology, you'll always win at the end of the game.
I love it. Valerie, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your wisdom with us today and your adventure at Four Elements. We really appreciate your time. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Really nice chatting with you, Laura.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.